JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm a little off today, but I'm excited to have y'all here. My name is Ira Bowman, and I got my co-host Joe, the finance guy, Stepke. Joe, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fair to middling. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah.
I gotta tell you that your backdrop, I know it's virtual because I made it.
I know, and it is awesome.
It looks really good, man.
Yeah, I gotta turn this around, make it look like that, try to be straight a little bit with it, but I love it. I think it's great, and it popped right up when I came on.
Yeah. Well, brother, I gotta tell you, first of all, you know I love you to pieces, so that's always always gonna be true.
I love you too. I'll reciprocate.
But because I've had a hard week, and I don't really want to talk about why, but I've had a hard week. And anyways, it's just nice to get to this part of the week where we could just have a little fun and goof around and
just hang out and let the hair out. I know, let your hair out. I get it. I understand. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't got that much either, but
you got way more than me, brother.
But yeah, well, sorry, didn't mean to.
Hey, we got some of our friends in the house, and one of our favorites. I mean, honestly, if we were making a list of our favorite audience members, Kenny
D would be one of them.
Kenny would definitely be up in the top. I would say at least top 5.
Right, it was his birthday. Gosh, I can't. Kenny, what was it? It was a couple of weeks ago, and I remember I sent him a text saying happy birthday, and
I missed it. I'm a jerk of a friend. I'm sorry, Kenny.
Oh, stop. I don't think he thinks anybody's a jerk, but he is just awesome. He's he's just a great person. Great human being.
Check this out. He says, oh wait, this is what he said. He said, just Stepke, savor the flavor of the awesomeness and you, sir, for sharing your delectable thoughts, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty, good, heartfelt thoughts with us today and every day. I mean, how can you not just smile
every time? I agree.
Every single time.
Every single time they do something, it's I agree.
Okay, you mentioned his birthday. Yesterday was what has he got going on here? Oh, hello from Toronto. I thought that was Kennedy. Hang on a sec. It was Thursday last week, honey. Oh, okay. So it was a little bit. Well, anyways, yesterday was my youngest daughter's birthday. My youngest child is now 8. So Joe reaches out to me because he was trying to check on me like a good friend does.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I don't have time to talk to you right now because I got to go eat birthday cake with my kid. Like, she literally turned 8 in our house. I don't know about you. Let's talk about this for a second because it's kind of fun. In our show, if you've never been here before, our show, frankly, is about nothing, but it's about everything. We talk about life, like with, challenges and fun stuff. And
I got some good stuff today, but go ahead.
So we'll get into it. But last night, she turned officially, she's 8 years old. So we had a party in my house, in the Bowman house. Now we have 8 kids. 8 is a theme number here, just in case you're not putting this all together, y'all. All right. So 8 years old. I have 8 kids, And when they turn 8, every one of these kids has had to join what I call the chain gang. That's right, indentured servitude. Now you have to clean up the kitchen after dinner from the time you're 8 to 18 until you move out, basically, right? So, in fact, it's even after 18 because my daughter, Marlena, she's back from college. She's living at home while this summer. So snack cake is snack cake turned 8 yesterday. So, anyways, that's my aunt, by the way. If you guys don't know, this is my aunt Becky, affectionately known as
I
the
am Becky.
yeah, we call her the warden. I dubbed her the name of the warden when I was a kid because she was a disciplinarian, which we all need as kids. We don't always appreciate it. So the smarty pants moniker, warden, but it sticks. And now I say it with affection and love, and she's an amazing person. But anyways, so at 8 years old, they have to start now cleaning the dishes and sweeping the floors and all that stuff, right? So on your 8th birthday, you do not have to. You get the day off. But invariably, Joe, this is what's funny. These kids at 8, they're excited. It's like a promotion and they're excited about it, usually for like 3 days to a week. And then reality sets in and they're like, oh man, I used to be able to just get up and walk away and do what I do, usually something with Barbies or video games or whatever. But now, today, because yesterday was her birthday, today at lunch, it started for real. And she was in her swimsuit and goofing around, sitting over there on the couch. And I'm like, hey, dude. Yes, I do call my kids dude. I'm like, hey, dude, kitchen's that way. So, anyways, kind of fun. But I don't know. Did you have a thing? I mean, your kids are older now too, but did you have a thing like that? Or your kids now, okay, now you have to start helping out?
No, as soon as they were able to pick
So
up,
like 5 years old or whatever,
yeah, it was like that. However, Jen didn't have to do that, and like the mother
Pardon me as I adjust my camera. It's a little high.
did. No, that's all right. Their mother did everything on there, but um, it's hard to it's hard to say like how we, because she does everything around the house, but now when the kids are older, now it's their turn. So
Yeah.
that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Hey,
And,
Mariella.
I come up talking about Aunt Becky. This is my dad's sister. I
Your
live.
dad was just here too. What, last week?
My mom was with me for 2 weeks, and then my dad was here for like 30 hours. Yeah, I saw both my parents. Both my parents are alive still, and they were both here at my house within the last week. But unfortunately for me, my dad is now back in Ukraine, so he was here basically just to drop off his stuff that he couldn't take with him, and fly back. I had to take him to LAX so he could go get back to the Ukraine. That was his decision. So there he is, and that's that. Certainly not something I'm excited about, but it's his life, right? So he's got to do what he's got to do.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But-
anyways, yeah, I saw my dad. I had not seen my dad in 11 years, and it was the first time he met 3 of my kids. It was an interesting visit, but
It was awesome.
yeah.
All right. Before I go on to like some heavy stuff, can we do my disclaimer?
Yes. Oh, we haven't done the disclaimer yet. All right.
Just because I know it's going to come up.
Yeah, no, we definitely need to do it. We do it every show. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with this, Joe works for a company called Rent-A-Center, which used to be called Acima Credit.
Rent-A-Center bought Acima.
There you go. All right. So the views of this show are the expressed opinions solely of Ira Bowman, that's me, and Joe Stepke, aka Joe the Finance Guy, that's him, and not Acima Credit or Rent-A-Center. There we go. We've done it verbally, and we've done it.
I wanted to put it out there just because there's so many. This week was a weird week.
All right. Well, let's get into it. And while we're doing that, I'm going to put your Joe the Finance Guy. If you guys want to learn more about Joe the Finance Guy and his professional services that he can offer you, check it out, joethefinanciguy.com. If you like the website, I built it. If you don't like it, I don't know who built it.
I actually talked about you doing the website. I was on a call today with Amanda Johnson, one of our fellow members, and great conversation, and a lot of good things for Joe, the finance guy, especially when it comes to the books and stuff. That I told her about the ideas, which you already know my 3 ideas. So, but anyways, it was pretty good. But anyways, I wanted to ask out there. So I'm looking at, we got some people on. I really wanted to ask the question.
Yeah, ask it.
A company that has, and this has nothing to do with my company. I want to put that out there. This has nothing to do with anything that I'm dealing with.
This is just something you're curious about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways,
I can read between the lines.
but I want to be serious. Has nothing to do with my company.
Okay.
That I'm, or not my company, the company I'm part of.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So anyways, a company that has an open door policy.
Yes.
Right.
So you're allowed to go talk to your manager about whatever you want.
But verbally told that you're not allowed to go to anybody other than your manager.
The written policy is it's open door, but the official,
go to anybody else.
The unwritten rule, we call these in baseball, we call these the unwritten rules. Okay.
Well, the unwritten rule is if you ever go to anybody else over that, you're fired.
Yeah. So there's a hierarchy, and you need to start at your immediate supervisor.
All right. And I understand that, but can somebody really say that?
So I could tell you flat out that no, I know this to be true, and this might actually be dependent on country rules. I don't think in state rules. I think federally you have some protections here. So yeah, if they have a written policy in place, that is your contract, right? So an unwritten rule. Now you might work for a place that has what do they call that? There's an agreement type. Hang on a second. My brain just shut off on me. But an at will. Okay. You might work for what we call an at will employer, which means, yes, they can fire. They can actually fire you for any reason they want to. So in that case, yes, but for cause, to be terminated for cause, if that was the only reason, and it is within the guidelines of the written contract, then they would not have a case and you could actually sue them. Would you? I don't know.
It's odd to me when you hear.
Yeah, and not you. I mean, whoever this hypothetical that you were talking about.
The hypothetical, but it's just weird that you get people that say, you know, this person needs to start staying in their lane. They shouldn't email a CEO or anything like that. They have no right to do that. And if the next time that person does it, they're going to be terminated. I find that very, very hard to believe that any CEO or ex-CEO of any company would agree with that. And I guess it's just hard when it's just fact, based on fact. And I don't mean to make this a whole thing on this. It's just, I don't know. When I heard about it, it was odd to me. It was really, really odd to me.
No, it's odd, but I've worked in toxic work environments too. I mean, people have some strange things. But again, the point that you said, to be clear to everybody, is that the written policy says there's an open door. So the unwritten rule.
It was, and I'm getting this. Remember, this is from another company to another person. So
yeah, so it is what it is. But if the written policy dictates this, and that's in the employee handbook, then that will be what prevails in court. I don't know how else.
I still think it's wrong that a person would come out and go, that person needs to stay in their lane. They're not emboldened to do whatever they want to. Yeah. They can't go over there. It's just, and listen.
Well, that happens in the military. I mean, that's a military. So what you're describing, not the written policy, but the unwritten policy, right? That's a military mentality. I mean,
and I am all totally, and you know I am with military, and I understand hierarchy, and I understand the command. But sometimes
you're wearing an army hat. We get it.
Right. When you hear about the like when they pick on the little guy,
Yeah.
when they take like $85,000 away from them in a salary or something like that, when you hear about it, you really want to go, wait a minute, what's right and what's not?
Yeah.
And I only say that because there are so many things, and I understand. I think there's more to it, and that's why I just wanted to ask. I've never heard of that before, and when it was told, it was almost it was to that point where, and how could you? It blows my mind.
Well, if you have an at will, like I said, if you have an at will agreement, they're going to be covered. The company would be covered in that part of it, because all they have to do is officially list the reason for termination as something else. If they would put that reasoning down again, then you would have, or
Yeah, but
whoever.
then how do you prove? You'd have to prove it. It's almost like, all right, the person sends the
Well,
email.
you have a file.
They could go. They
But
could.
their company has a file, right? So
Right.
everybody has an employee record, whether it's written or not. But you have a file, because if nothing else, legally they have to have your all your start date paperwork.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter how good you are. And I've said this before to a lot of people, and I've signed up many. Um, it's a lot of other retailers, but it doesn't matter how good you are. You need to always have a contingency plan, and you need to have a backup. And
I would tell you, this kind of stuff is part of why I work for myself. It's interesting to me what people, including myself. I could tell you some of the horror stories, especially from the one toxic work environment that I endured for 4 years. Uh, all kinds of abuse. But when you are in it, I will say this: I understand people feel that pressure that they can't escape. Right? They're like, I need this job. I'm going to deal with this crap because I need this job. I need this pay. I need this security. Right? What I have found now by being self-employed for the last couple of years is I'm actually in a much better place, because I can interview each client, and if it doesn't fit, I can just turn them away. I mean, yeah, and this is a one of the detriments. There are lots of advantages, obviously, with this type of leadership style too,
right,
right? Because now there's no confusion as to what to do, and it brings clarity. Even when you don't agree with it, you know what you need to do, right? But most civilian companies would, I mean, this is why we have HR departments in the first
right,
place, right? This is an HR issue, human resources issue. And I promise you, they're not trained to make people feel the way that that would make most of us feel. Like, what do you mean I can't? Why can't I go to the director or the VP? Or frankly, if the president of the company has said I have an open door policy, why can't I walk in and talk to the president then?
right.
Right? I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
I agree. It's one of those things when you hear about it that somebody actually does that. It's, it's, I don't know. And I didn't mean, as I say again, I want to talk about happy, happy joy stuff. It's Friday. Supposedly no bad news on Friday. I've gotten a lot of bad news on Friday, on today. So it makes you, it really, really disrupts your vision, but it's all right.
Say that one more time. You got a lot of bad news today?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Professional. It was half and half. I've always said no bad news on Friday. I guess nobody's told other companies that you can't have bad news on Friday. Doesn't matter, but I've
I've
always
never heard that before.
I've always said no bad news on Friday
Really?
and I think I got it from one of my older mentors, Michael Bennett, who's the CEO of Buddies, Buddy Rents, a great, great leader, great vision person, just awesome person all around. And I've always believed in no bad news on Friday, because why would you want to give somebody bad news on Friday when they're going into the weekend? Wait till Monday or something like that.
Well, you know darn good and well I was laid off on a Friday at 5:30 in the
I know
evening.
you were. I know, and I understand that. But in the same token, as much as I got which I knew about that was coming. It was just everything came down at the same time. And especially when you believe in a leader and you find out that, I don't know, that it's I don't know. I shouldn't even get into it because I'll put more of what happened to me out there.
Yeah.
But the the biggest part is on the same on another flip of the coin. I got some great news like that. I think there's a lot of things I could do more with Joe the finance guy, and it'll just recognize it more out there because I really want to help people. And I'm not trying to plug myself right now. I just, in the mindset of what I learned today that was positive, it was about helping other retailers. And it's not necessarily about the person I work for. People buy from people and
100%.
people work with people. And you know that.
I just got done doing a training for a private company. They hired me to train their sales staff on how to use LinkedIn. Okay. And it was a 3-hour training that I did yesterday. And that was a large part of what I was trying to communicate to them. And I said it exactly the way that you just said it. I was like, look, I understand at the end of the day, the invoice is going to come from, I said, and I used my company and his company as example. So Bowman Digital Media to your company name, because I'm not going to publicly say who I trained. But anyways, so, but I said, honestly, it's going to always come down to me, Ira Bowman, because I do the sales at Bowman Digital Media, talking to another person who happens to work for that company and talking to them about what it is they need and the value that we could provide as the company. If they don't like us, if we don't like each other, the odds of us doing business are really, really low,
Right.
right? And that's
Right.
what you're talking about here. It's not that the businesses aren't doing business. Of course they are, but they do it through the conduit of the people.
Correct.
So totally get
And
it.
there's one thing, if you want to build profits, and I don't know what shareholder in the world would ever think this, but if you want to build profits, you don't tear your people down.
Sure. Well, it's not a good long-term strategy, that's for sure. Now, short-term, for a short-term thing, for basically some type of snake oil sales type, maybe.
Or short term to list
We're getting beaten.
the stock price so somebody could sell off their shares in about a year. Yes.
We're getting beaten by Kenny D. First of all, he wants me to shut up, which I don't get that. I mean, you do know I'm like the host of the show, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
I know. I know.
I don't quite understand why he doesn't want me to talk, but
This
I
is your
mean,
week. This is your week.
I have no idea. Whatever. But he also wants to hear about it. But I'm gonna tell you this, Kenny. He probably isn't going to share because there's some things there that if he gets into it, he might get in
Yeah,
trouble.
I could, right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't
Let's keep Joe out of hot water.
offline. You're right. I do owe you a call and we
Yeah.
talk one time. So
Yeah. On our show where we got people who watch us, we're gonna
I gotta keep good. I will tell you, I did get I got a referral, not a referral. I got a sign up from the show last week.
I love that.
Yeah, that was
Makes me
just
very happy.
awesome. And it's
Did you
somebody
notice I put
I've known him for a long, long time, but I believe he just called me out of the blue after it, and they
yeah.
you know
But part of the reason why, if you're out there and you're watching the show and you have any inclination of doing a show, part of the reason why you do it is because you can increase your visibility, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, we've been doing something for a while and we just assume everybody knows what we do and how we do it and how we help and all that stuff, and they don't, right? They don't. And so even people in my own family, if you ask them what does Ira Bowman do for a living,
Oh, I want to guess. Do they say take pictures?
I'm going to tell you that most people have no idea that I'm not even in the print business anymore.
Do they? So they don't
Now,
say.
I was in the print business. To be fair, I was in the print business for over 20 years, right? So I understand why people associate me with the print business, and I'm not offended by it. It just is kind of funny that you think that your own family at least would know what you do.
Right.
Yeah, I take pictures. I think some of them say something maybe with social media. I'm not quite sure what he does. But you do a show like this and you talk about it. when it comes up, and then you explain. Like last week, we actually did more of a commercial for ourselves than we normally do on the show. But that's why I like doing those every once in a while, is because it gives you an opportunity to talk about the things that you do. We do have a question. So
I saw that from
yeah,
Ryan.
let's talk about this. I think this is a very interesting question. So, in the spirit of Kenny D telling Ira to shut up, Joe, you go first, and then when you're done, I'll give what I got.
All right, a more serious subject. I'm looking into buying a franchise business, which I already knew. I think we talked about that on our veteran call that we had. As
Yeah.
two entrepreneurs, what are the questions you would ask the franchisor? Well, are we talking about besides the, what
Obvious.
book,
What's the commitment, right? I mean, you got to know that.
the books on there? How many customers? I'm sure you already got that covered.
Well, as a franchise owner, that he might be talking about, and Ryan, feel free to put this in the comments to help us out. Are you talking about a brand new location for an existing franchise? Or are you talking about buying an existing spot and
I think
swapping out of an owner?
he's taking over. He's
taking
buying
over an existing location.
Yeah, he's buying a business from somebody.
Okay, that's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, and Ryan, if I'm wrong, just put it in there and
let us know, because the questions would be different. Okay, he did say new territory.
New territory, okay.
And I love it. Look, he flipped over to YouTube for us, which I appreciate. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And a lot of times we get most of our views and engagement from LinkedIn. So it's always nice when somebody supports us on a different channel. Today we have my Aunt Becky on Facebook. I don't know if she's still here, but she was on for a minute. And now Ryan's over on YouTube. So anyways, okay. So new territory, Joe.
New territory. So I would, have you ever marketed in this area? Is it okay? Like, Ryan, can we talk about what the business is? Like, because
well, let's just speak in generalities for now. He might not want to do that.
All right, that's why if he puts it in there,
if he puts it in there, then we'll switch over.
Anyways, have you ever marketed in the area? What's the customer saturation? What the customer saturation is like in that area? Gosh, I'm trying to think besides the books, because I'd want to know what their customer count is, how many customers they have, what have they done each year? Like, what have they increased by? I'm trying to think. Oh, and he's going through like type this party earlier.
I know that without question.
Yep. And God, I'm just okay. So
there he did. He did say it's
now we got it. All right, good. So with that, I would really dive in and see like what his existing customers is. How are they marketing to get more customers? See,
this is the territory size, the overall size, Ryan, of that. I'm assuming it's a city in Hawaii or something.
No, I don't think it's in Hawaii.
Okay. Well, these are things that, these are all good, but these are specifics to his deal,
right?
Not necessarily in general. So, but it's all good. It's all good information. I think, Joe, you're along the same lines I am. I would also consider. So he asked this, right? He said, "What would you ask of the franchisor?" But I don't necessarily know that a lot of my questions would go to the franchisor. I would do research on the industry, on the market itself. I would try to talk to another person who owns that type of business in a different market and see what it's really like. Because here's the thing. When I stopped working for ARC, now I'm an employee, or I'm a free agent, right? Because I had updated my profile on LinkedIn. He says I still talk too much.
I'm smiling, but go ahead. Keep going.
I don't even know what to say to that. But anyways, because you were just talking for the last 5 minutes, right?
I know.
But anyways, whatever. Print companies. I don't mind saying it. Companies like ABC Graphics, they reached out to me, and they go, "Hey, would you be interested in being a franchise location owner?" And one thing that Ryan said is one of the things that I'm always interested in. What is the profit margin? So that's a good thing that he already knows that, right? And a lot of what you said, I would do too, your due diligence. But the things that I would be asking would be those kinds of questions to I expect the guy selling it to give me all the shiny, awesome answers. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Like making it
Right.
look as attractive as possible.
Right.
But I want to talk to people on the other end. Somebody that's been a business owner, a franchise owner specifically for like 3 years or 5 years in that industry, if I could, even in that market. But they probably won't want to talk to you because they're, going to see you as competition. But if you can get some conversations with people, that's what I would want to do. I
Right.
would want to talk to other franchisee, not the franchisor, and I
Correct.
would want to talk to people in other businesses, similar type of industry, but in different markets, because I'm assuming that the people in that same market again aren't going to want to necessarily be forthright with you because they would be your competition. But the more that you can talk to them, what surprised them is a question that I would ask. What surprised you? Um, like when I opened Bowman Digital Media, there was some things that surprised me.
Right.
Right? I mean, everybody has some horror stories, some things like, hey, if you could go back in time, this is one I love. If you could go back in time from the moment you started thinking about doing this to now and give yourself some advice on how you could make this better, smoother, easier for you, what advice would that be? Right? I call these things informational interviews, and you and I have had this conversation
Right.
before, right? Usually it's in the job search process. But in that process, what you do is you find somebody who's doing it or already done it, and they might be at the next level. And you talk to them and you pick their brain. And it's usually not something you pay for. And it's the kind of thing that when it goes well, you could find yourself a mentor. So it's pre-mentor relationship, but it's the kind of person that could be your mentor. Those are the avenues that I would go for. And again, I mean, this is not my area of expertise. It's just the kind of thing that I did. So ultimately, as you all know, obviously, I didn't end up buying a franchise, becoming a franchisee for a print company. I could have. I have a lot of experience. I knew a lot of people. I knew what equipment to get. I would have known how to market it, all those things. But ultimately, the reason why I decided not to do it was a lot of liability, and it wasn't as much profit, nearly as much profit potential for me as what I chose to do, which is run Bowman Digital Media. So the opportunity cost were outweighed by running Bowman Digital Media. So, it tipped the scale. Wasn't even close, honestly, for me with the print business. Now, I wasn't looking at 27% profit margins. So that's a pretty significant but actually, I'm thinking about it. I'm surprised it's only 27%, Ryan, because I mean, you got to buy some equipment. I totally get that. And you got labor,
Yeah.
but unless it's an extremely competitive market, I would think your profit margin would be closer to like, 50%. But again, I'm not an expert in that. I'm just
Right.
talking out loud. Okay. What's next? Oh, he's got some of the competitors listed there. There you go. So do some homework. Reach out to some of those folks and see if you can talk to any of them. Like, just let them know, like, hey, I'm new at this. I've got an opportunity to be a franchise owner, and
Yep.
I would love if you could just help me out. I don't even know what I should ask you. Just see what they volunteer first.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. All right. So on to another thing.
Yeah.
Did you watch Obi-Wan?
I did not, because you did not text me and
I
remind
know.
me.
I knew that was coming. I knew.
Well, to be fair, I thought about it on Tuesday, but then I was going through my thing and I was
Yeah.
like,
No, that's all right. All right. Um, however, I am going to see Jurassic Park. I got to see that one.
have you seen Top Gun?
No, my daughter and my sister-in-law are going to see it. They asked me if I wanted to go tomorrow. I told them no. I
You
said
don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
Really? That's so weird. So Ryan's on.
No. I don't want to see it because I'll wait because this is how cheap I am.
Well,
I'll
I get
wait
you
till it
there.
comes out on streaming
I'm going to do that.
so I could wait
Yeah.
and just watch in the comfort of my
All
own
right.
home.
But here's what I will say. Usually sequels and stuff like this are total bombs. They don't perform well and they
Right.
get really crappy reviews. I have yet to see anybody say anything bad
Yeah,
about Top
no, this one's I've heard the same thing. And
Yeah.
even the guy I talked to today who told me, who's he's part of one of the retailers. I'll give him a shout out. Retailers, furniture discounters, actually American Direct Factory Furniture in Indianapolis. Go there, see Mike Wallace or Jeremiah.
So
Great.
check this out. This is actually the first time I talked to Ryan Jackson about Top Gun. It was the original Top Gun, and he's
Right,
like, he broke my heart, man, because you remember that scene where Mav's like, I'm gonna slow down and draw them in. They're gonna fly right by,
right.
and
And he
he's
said that
he's
exactly.
gonna be like, "You're gonna do what?" Right? My whole life, and I'm not exaggerating, like literally, my whole life, I believed that was like that was my secret. If I'm ever in the cockpit, that's my move to get that bogey off my butt. Right? Like I'm never gonna be in the cockpit. I'm in my mind.
Right.
I'm a
I,
little cray. I'm a little cray cray. You guys understand that, I think, right? Well, anyways, Kenny D's like, yeah, he very cray cray. Yes, Kenny. All right. I love Kenny. All right, here we go. But I talked to Ryan and he kind of broke my heart because he is a pilot. He's like Goose in the movie, except for he didn't die. Right? Thank God for that. But anyways, and he's super tall. I don't know if Goose was tall. Anyways, he goes, yeah, there's the stuff they do, it's not real, like the moves and stuff. So I was kind of like, oh man, I thought that was one of the best movies ever made. You know what I mean? But then you hear him say this about the second one, dude. It is legit, and that's what makes me. Makes me want to see it. Kenny D's like, I'm not going to see it. Randall, I don't
let's
know.
see it.
I want to. I don't. I wasn't going to embarrass Randall, but Randall's actually on my team. So
Uh,
remember, I've got the summer interns going.
Yep.
He's one of the guys.
Oh
So
wow.
he's learning how to do the Bowman Digital Media voodoo.
Well, nice to meet you, Randall.
Yeah,
Do that
he's
voodoo that you knew do so well, I think, or however
something
you.
like that. Doo. Yeah, I don't know how that goes. Anyways, Kenny's saying pay for my ticket and I will see it. No joke, Kenny. That's why I'm not going, because I don't have $200 to invest to take my family.
That was hilarious. What Randall just talked about, the James Gordon, the flying one. Yeah, that is funny. Yeah,
I've seen that, right? He's like, he's walking behind him and yeah, I've seen that. That's funny. Anyways, there's a lot of good like meme type videos that's one of the things that you share on social media.
Yeah, I haven't lately, but yes, that is one of the things. I did do.
You had a really cute one. You had a really cute one with the little kid on a bike not too long ago.
Yeah. Oh my God, that one where
I love that one.
like the one kid, that one was awesome. If you want to see it, go to my LinkedIn.
Yeah, go check Joe the finance guy out.
I think it's one of the first ones on my LinkedIn profile.
Do you ever tag or do you ever make those like your featured, like
it is. That one is one of my, that's where
yeah.
it's one of my featured ones.
There you go.
The way that kid got off that bicycle to help the other one, it was just, he got off like he was some sort of superhero. That's why I like it. It's like the way he got off and he like went over and helped the kid up back on his bike. So, and they both, and these kids were, when I say kids, they're probably 5.
Yeah, ish.
4.
Ish.
5.
Yeah, they're young. They're young for sure.
They were there, but it was so cute. And I think it was about like, everybody wins when we help each other. And I remember that one, and that one blew up. That one
did. Yeah, that one got a lot of that got a lot of activity fast. In fact, I think Randall, if you remember, I think I shared that one. I was teaching him. So in full disclosure, with my internship program, it's 90 days, and they're trading an hour of training a week for 10 hours of labor a week, right? So that they can learn from the inside out how to do the digital marketing stuff, so they can go and start their own company, or they can go get a job working for somebody. I'm actually going to hire one of these people when we're done. That's the plan anyways. So this first week, what I had them do was just learn how to build out their profile. And then I taught them a little bit about, some of my strategies for increasing your visibility on social media. And we talked about, I showed them your post, I think, if I remember right, I did. But I think that's the one I showed them because I loved it. I'm like, look, I know everybody wants to be super serious all the time, but you forget that social media is social, and sometimes people are here just to be entertained and they want to take a little break. Like when you got the Sunday paper, did you go straight to the, finance section, or did you dive to the comics section? Because if you were
Don't
like me,
push me when I got that. I also
I'm
grabbed
just saying a lot of
my
people,
silly putty at the same time, Ira.
but a lot of people were like that, right? Like if you were looking for a job or something, obviously you probably went straight to the classifieds. But a lot of people, you get the Sunday paper. It was either entertainment section for those
Yes.
of us, who aren't into comics, or for those of us who are into comics, it was the comic section, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that people forgot that was one of the lessons that I taught this week in that first lesson. Now, if it's next week, just a full disclosure, if y'all want to follow along, we can talk about this every week. It's kind of fun. So, this next week, we're going to be doing a overview in graphic design for social media. How do we set up graphics on social media for the posts that we create, right? But it's not just for posts. Honestly, if you're not making artwork and using them in comments, then that's another thing that you can do to help increase your engagement.
Yep.
Comics and magic, I for sure don't contact these guys. They will become two of your favorite people. It rightly sucks up a lot of time. It does, man. I mean, we'll waste your whole day.
Yeah, I can talk about anything.
Hey,
Um,
we love images so much for you. We actually put a media section on your website, and I actually need to update that. I was thinking about that the other day. We haven't put anything up there for a while, so we should take some of your videos, the memes, and throw them up there.
so I went to a brand source meeting, had a great time. Roy Radloff is like one of the regional directors of brand source in the area. So Roy, great meeting. You, Mike Porter, Ty had such a great time. All the retailers that were there. But anyway, so we're at the brand source meeting, and I did two memes on my drive there, but I only shared it with like the group within the SEMA. And one
No,
of
let's get that on your website.
well, I'll do it. I'll share it with you. But the first one was I was driving. I was stopped at a stoplight too.
Appreciate that.
Anyways, I took a picture.
For all the highway patrol, in Noblesville, Indiana. He was stopped at a stop sign.
I was stopped at a stop sign when I took my picture.
Were you in the Batmobile?
Yes, I was. I was in the Batmobile. I was all dressed like I usually do for work. And
if you don't know, that means he was in a suit.
But one of the things I said was, when gosh, what was the first one? I got to look it up now because I messed it up. I messed it up so bad when
you messed up your own meme.
Oh, I messed it up.
How did you do that? Did you have a faux pas?
Yeah, well, it wasn't like that. Here it is. I put in there, I wanted to say that feeling you get when you know you are going to crush it this week.
Oh, no.
But I ended up putting,
oh, no,
that feeling you get when you know you are going to question this week.
Little
did I know
how the week was going to go.
Yeah. That was the phone telling me something.
So. That was foreshadowing.
Yeah, I think so. I really think that was.
Well, next time before you post it, send it to me and I will edit it for you.
Wait, and then when I got to the brand source meeting, I set up the table, and I haven't seen these people in almost 2 years since the last meeting. A lot of these people, and it was such a
Why does that company name sound familiar?
Brand Source is a buying group, and they're great for people that need appliances or furniture or anything. It's just a buying group with most.
Did we do a press release for them?
I don't think so. I might have included something in
that. Might have been it.
But anyways, when I went there, everybody, everybody's hugging and everything like that, and we haven't seen you in so long. But when I did the table, I go, "Are you ready?" Joe, the finance guy, is, and I just did a meme. I was so proud of it because I don't do my own memes.
Yeah, right.
But because you and I talked about it, I go, maybe it's something I should dabble.
No, you should. I'm telling you, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'm actually gonna open these up. I'm gonna share my screen and show you.
I'm gonna actually send you the 3.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna
Send
send
me
you the
send
3D,
me well, you can share your screen too here, Joe.
yeah, yeah. How about if I just let you do it?
Yeah, you can send it to me.
That's easier.
This is the relationship that Joe and I have, everybody.
Yeah, that's the relationship, all right. I'll just send it to you, Ira, because
Yeah,
God knows I'd probably mess something up.
it's all good, brother. All
Uh,
right, hang on.
get it.
So I'm gonna share. I have all these screens, and for some reason, it just always wants to like put it on one that like it picks the worst one. So share screen. All right. So check this out. This is an example. This is an example of a meme that I made from myself, right? They might only see your past, but keep focused as you're not there anymore. Keep moving forward. I put this up on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. I didn't put it up on Instagram, but I put it up on those three. So sometimes they're serious and sometimes they're like kind of funny. But this one, the better in life you do, the more haters you'll have. It's just truly part of the success journey. Again, if you have haters, my advice is not to worry about the haters so much as to celebrate the fact that you've done something worth hating, I guess.
Right.
Right. Because if you're not doing anything noteworthy, then no
Well,
reason.
and that is so that's probably the best line I've ever heard. Just don't worry about the haters.
Yeah. And then I like this one. Sometimes life trips you up because we're not looking at the big picture. So zoom out and dream big. Sometimes you get basically buried in the details, is the idea there. So those are some that I've made for this week. I'm going to switch back. I'm going to open up. Where did you send those to me?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay.
Are you?
So
Can you look at your messages on LinkedIn or?
yeah, I can.
Didn't know. I don't. For me, I would have messed it up, and we would have been off the air.
Oh, here we go. All right, hang on.
It would have been dead air.
We're back, baby. All right. So can't really see it, but that feeling. Oh, there you go. Look how sharp he is. He is a sharp.
That's what we're going to talk about. I'm talking about that feeling when and I said, and so when I did it, I wasn't typing. I was using
talk to text.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Crush it? Question. I don't see how that comes in.
Stuttered it somehow a little bit. I don't know. Is this the good one? No.
Yeah, that feeling when you're you get.
Yeah, when you crush it this week. Okay. Where's the good one? The other one. Oh, here we go. All right, I like the one with you dressed up more.
Which part? Which one?
I like the other.
The other ones, yeah.
Yeah, I like this because this is what I think. If you're gonna make your own meme, then you should be in it, right?
Can you go to the other one? Go to the other one.
Right?
I really hate that I did that one.
Crush it, baby. So this is what you actually sent out to people, I'm assuming.
Well, I accidentally sent the first one.
Oh, you did. Dang it.
I did. I accidentally sent the first one, and I tried to take it off, but
hey, look at that. You got respect. Oh, she's respecting both of us. That's nice.
Thank you so much, Marielle.
Yeah. Okay. So again, for LinkedIn guys and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them, don't be like, man, I almost don't even want to bring this up because I don't want to go down here this pathway, but I'll talk about it. LinkedIn. I got a question in the training yesterday, and I get this all the time, right? Should you put anything personal on LinkedIn because it's a professional platform? That's the question. I get this all the time.
Right? I know you do, and and I've always my answer.
Yeah, and our answer is the same, and the answer is yes, and because you're people dealing with people, right? But even more so, like let's say for example, you're at a work conference. You're going to be there for 3 days, 5 days, however many days, more than one day though, right? You're going to be there for more than one day. So you're at a work conference. What are you going to do in the evening? Most likely, you're going to go out and engage socially with at least some of the participants in that group. Now, it might just be your little network group, or it might be, just like they're having an event like karaoke or whatever. So first of all, there's that, like Topgolf. Basically, Topgolf was designed for stuff like that, right? What are you doing when you're at that social event? Are you talking about your latest spreadsheet? Are you talking about the latest make and model of product that you sell? Are you talking about quarterly numbers? You
No,
might a little bit, but
team building event. It's
that's not all you're going to talk about. You're also going to talk about, where you went to school and how many kids you have. Are you married? What do you do for fun? Where do you go for vacation? Have you seen Top Gun? All that kind of stuff comes up. So I say all that to preface this. First of all, you have to understand my posts are seen by a lot of people, right? I don't have any problem getting my post seen ever. Just so
right.
you know, I don't have to worry about gimmicks or anything like that, right? But I will tell you that my number one, my number two, and I think even my number three largest post for number of views, for number of engagements, for number of shares, for all of those things this year have had absolutely nothing to do with anything business related. And
Right.
all three of them were about my daughter. Okay. Again, I'm not looking to talk about my daughter right now. I'm just saying
Right.
I put those on LinkedIn because people ask me to every once in a while for updates.
Right.
So I had been doing it. I actually haven't been doing it for a while because I got tired of there was some backlash coming at me where people are like, "Oh, you're just trying to seek attention or raise money or whatever," which is total crap because I've never asked
Right.
anybody for a penny
Right.
ever. Not for Project Help You Grow, not for my daughter. I've never asked anybody for a penny. Okay. But because of that, it kind of irritates me that I get crap like that from people. And it's like, well, no, dude, that's not what I'm doing at all. Actually, there's no evidence that anybody could ever point to even suggest that, really. It's
Right.
just, but it is irritating, hurts my feelings. And there you go. So, but listen to what I just said. Prefaced first by the fact that I don't have problems getting views for any type of views I put up. I can put up videos, I can put up hyperlinks, I can put up photographs, I can put up text only. Like every type of post, I could do an article, I can take somebody else's article and share it. I don't have a problem getting views, which I'm thankful for. But the thing that I shared that isn't have it has not relates to business, not at all. It's just personal, and that's the thing that people responded to the most. Why? Because you and I know it's about the heart,
Right.
right? And people, anyways, memes are fun, and if you put your face up, now you're adding your personality to it. And I love it when you're all dressed up, Joe. I don't get dressed up like that anymore. I should.
I feel a lot better. I like doing it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start getting dressed up again too. Now, I used to dress up every day. I dressed up all the time for work. I used to wear a suit, frankly, even in Vegas in 110-degree weather. So trust me when I tell you, I've worn my fair share of suits, right? And not just the suit jacket, but I had a guy who's like, if you don't have cufflinks on, if you don't have a vest on, get out of here. And I'm like, are you kidding? Do you know how hot it is out there? We're sweating like crazy pigs. But anyway, so I did all that. But then I got away from it as a business owner. I got away from it for a couple of years. But now it's like, okay. Now I'm starting to feel like
I love I love dressing up like that. And plus I'm down to 257 and a half now.
you're looking good, bro.
Oh, I'm trying. As I say, I'm trying. I'm trying. Let me go put that into view. So
The gun show.
I am. Yep. I am. I'm feeling really good. I'm still trying to do 2 workouts a day. So one in the morning and one in the evening. But I did one before this.
I'm right there at the two. I'm right at 2 bills. I'm right there, and I'm trying so hard to see that one, the first digit be a 1. I don't care if it's 199.9. I haven't seen it yet, Joe, but I'm actually only
I can give you advice on how to hurry up and get there by tomorrow.
yeah,
I don't know what you eat or whatever you do, but if you intermittent fast,
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm losing weight.
And don't drink any water.
Oh, I drink a lot of water.
I know, but try that. So I tried something else, and it was only because I listened to one of my other friends that does intermittent fasting, and he said, try this one time. He goes, when you intermittent fast, he goes, don't even have water. Don't have water because water equals life. He goes, fast as much as you can. Like I do it, when I'm going to bed, obviously.
So you're not drinking water when you're fasting, is what you're saying. But when it's time to eat, you can drink.
Yes. So
drink all your water during your eating hours.
Correct. So from 9 p.m., let's say, to let's just say 1 in the afternoon. didn't eat.
Yeah. So right now, for me, my fasting hours are not that long. My fasting hour is 12 hours. So I'm 12 on, 12 off. So I'm doing from midnight to noon, no, nothing.
Mhm.
And I'm doing, and then that includes taking my medication. So I have an allergy pill. That's the only thing I take. But I have an
Gotcha.
allergy pill that I take at night. But I've started taking that before midnight, even though I usually work till 2 or 3 in the morning, right? So that I can follow the fast. So, but I have been drinking water and frankly coffee in the morning when I get up, which is the only reason I'm not screaming at people at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And I'm not fasting right now, so I'm still. I didn't.
Yeah,
Take
you're
my
in
other.
non-fasting. You're not non-fasting hours.
I
So
actually got off at about 4 o'clock.
my goal, my goal is to increase the fasting hours, but I don't know that I can do the no drinking because
I decided
I
to.
live in I live in a desert. First of all, it's
It's
really
hot.
hot.
I
It's really hot.
If you're going out there, don't do it. If you were in your office like most of the day or whatever, listen, I tried it. It didn't hurt me that much. I actually tried it twice. I tried it the day before and I was out in the field and I didn't drink anything. And then today I did it. But
I'm also trying to drink 4 of these a day,
that's
which
exactly.
it's hard to get 4 down for
But I
me.
do 16 and 8. I do 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating. But
What if
like
you were to do it? What if you were to do fasting in I've never thought about this, and I'm not a health expert. I mean, I'm honestly asking. So instead of doing a 12-hour cycle where it's 12 and 12, what if we did like instead of doing 4-hour block, right? So you got 16 off and 4 on. What if we did like 2 2-hour blocks? So we had 2 hours on and then 8 hours off and then 2 hours on and then 8 hours off, something like that. I wonder if that would work
well,
as much.
I don't think so because the thing like on the sheet that I have or the app that I
This
have,
is interesting right here. He said, and this is basically where you are at this point, right? You've lost
yeah,
about 30 pounds, and it hasn't even been 3 months. You're at a month and a
yeah,
half, right?
it's been since April 1st.
Yeah. Was that two
So
2 months, I guess?
months and some odd days, yep.
Yeah. There you go.
But I for me, I don't know. I have been checking my blood again to see that was so you want to hear a gross story?
No, go ahead. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
this is really good. So I get done. I got done with my work down here. I know I was talking to Greg. You know who Greg is. I was talking with him today on the phone. Ended the day, sort of. I got to do some other stuff tonight, working wise, but that's beside the point. And I went out for my walk because I wanted to hurry up and get back here. But before I go out for my walk, I was going to check my blood to see where my ketones are, to see if I was in ketosis. Because
so how are you checking your blood? Explain that, because
oh,
I'm not talking.
I just like how diabetics do. I got
Oh, you got a thing you punch it with your finger?
yep,
Okay.
with my finger. But anyway, so I punched it with the middle finger.
You flipped yourself off?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the blood came out the first one, checked my blood sugar. Now, I didn't eat yet, and it was about, I'd say, 18 hours or whatever. 18 hours because when I got back, it was 19 something. So it's about 18 hours. And
How do you go that long and not get grumpy, Joe?
oh, I actually was grumpy, but that goes to the professional side again.
I
And
got
we won't talk
the
to it.
bad day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't judge if that was the reason or not, which I don't think it is, but whatever. So,
Well,
anyways, I did it. My blood sugar was 87, so it wasn't really bad.
yeah, because isn't it anything under 100, you're okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so I start to squeeze it again and trying to get my wife's there talking to me because I'm telling her about some of the things, and she had some really good news. I'm not going to share because it's her own news, but it is
Yeah.
something that people are recognizing her. And for passive income, it's going to help us. So everything will wash out. If I help out, everything will wash out. But anyways, I try to get the blood out to get another like dropout so I could do the other part.
Trying to squeeze blood from a turnip.
Well, no, it wasn't that. And then it just squirted.
Oh no!
And
You shot blood.
yeah, and it went like this over there. I went like this, and my wife's going, did you see that? And I was going like, oh my God. And we couldn't, now it was sort of dark a little bit where we were. But I got it a little bit on my shirt too. And I was like, ew.
Yeah.
I didn't expect, but anyways, after I squirted, I did it. And I'm like barely in ketosis. Like I'm like right there. So I checked my blood and I was barely in there. But
Do you know that you're gonna like this? So yesterday, because it was Debbie's birthday, I actually watched the Spider-Man movie, whatever this is, the latest one, I think, where there's the three
no way home.
Spider-Man.
I
I
think it's
think
no way home.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, but there was three Spider-Mans in this thing.
Yeah.
From
Toby.
the, yeah. I thought he was done with that stuff. So that was
Oh my God. That was great that he was in it.
that was unexpected but really cool. I liked a lot about the movie. Honestly, I was a little bit lost, as you know, because I don't watch all the stuff, but I was able to follow along with some of it. But I thought the story was cool. But the part that brought that up, what you just said, you shot the blood, and they two Spider-Mans were like freaking out that he could
Yeah, and he could do it right.
He could shoot it without any apparatus or making his
So
artificial webs or whatever.
Out just is that the only place it comes out? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the dynamic.
That line, my whole family, we all snickered like, what?
But I thought it was great.
I had never seen a Spider-Man with legs before. That was new to me too.
What do you mean with legs?
So he's fighting the guy on the bridge.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that was the original bad guy, right? They had the arms, Octopus Man.
Oh, you mean Dr. Octavius? Yeah.
Yeah. So that guy, I've seen him before, right? Even though I'm not in all this, I knew that guy, right?
Mhm.
But Spider-Man, the one from this movie, right? Which I think my kid said this was the third in the series or something.
Yeah,
right?
Tom Holland. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, that one, he had black legs come out of his back.
No, wait, hold on a minute. It wasn't black legs. It was just
it was spider legs.
It's his Iron Spider. Tony Stark made that outfit for him, and it's basically Iron Spider. So,
okay. Well, I had never seen a Spider-Man.
Oh my God, that is. I probably have the figure.
Because you want to know what? I think with that, I think he could be Batman too.
Whatever. Anyway. What? I will tell you, when I was on a call today with that other group member, and that person because I was going through my story.
Yeah.
Talking about things I've done and everything to help me, and about the books, the 3 books that I want to finish writing. And she gave me an idea for something, and we were talking about Office Space, because the one I was going like this, all the stories I got from over the years with corporations, it's better than Office Space. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So anyways, and the person was laughing, and I was talking about the superheroes and everything. She goes, who's your favorite Marvel character? Is it Batman? And I went, first off, Batman's DC.
Yeah, so let's not get that twisted.
Yeah, so right. And my favorite Marvel character is, and I said Iron Man, but I want to retract it a little bit. I like Iron Man, but I think my favorite would be, and it's Marvel now anyways, but would be Wolverine. My favorite,
I'm Wolverine over Iron Man for sure, but for you, I know that you like both a lot. So
yeah, so it's just it's that stuff is fun. I just thought it was hilarious when she said that. So, who's your favorite Marvel character? I'm assuming it's Batman. And you should just saw my face.
That's like you asking about sports, man. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Yeah, but she was serious. Come on.
I know
that stuff. Listen,
when you do that though, a lot of people think you are serious. I mean, they haven't heard the shtick.
Who wouldn't want to see Tiger Woods play in the Super Bowl?
Right.
I mean, I can't wait till the Bulls go to the World Series. This is going to be great.
Tiger Woods is now a billionaire, and so is LeBron James officially.
Yep.
Anyways,
that is great. Well, I know we're at the.
Yeah, we're over.
Mark, we're a little bit over. So.
All right, y'all. So housekeeping. Next week we're going to be on Joe's channel every other week. Yeah, every other week. So what you do is follow Joe and follow me.
Correct.
every Friday. We're going to be on 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, adjust for wherever you are, of course. But if
What
you,
time is it in Hawaii?
so
One?
that would be noon, I think, right? Is it 3
Noon?
hours? I think it's 3 hours behind
It's
me.
3 hours from you?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
The distance to Hawaii is significant. It was a 6 hour flight to Hawaii from my house.
Wow, I did not know that. That is
Yeah, you're way out there, man. You're halfway. I think you're halfway between Japan and the United States, basically there.
wow. Okay. All right. That's
All right, we got it. We got a few people saying goodbye. Thank you so much, Mariella,
fine.
for
Bye,
sticking with us the whole
Mariella.
time. And Randall, make sure you're getting your homework done there, buddy. And I saw some work there he was putting in. So their challenge this week. One of the things I told him to do, because you know how important comments are. I'm one of the things I've told them to do, but besides fix their profile, which I
Right.
walked them how to do that, but they've got to go out and make a bunch of comments, 10 hours worth to be exact. So yeah, it's quite a bit of work. But again, the goal is to get them so that they can do this on their own.
Great. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I will leave with this. I'm planning on seeing 3 movies this weekend. They are not in theaters, but
Three
the
movies on Netflix or whatever.
no, it's I'll search Netflix to see so I don't have to pay. But
I learned a new thing today. I wonder if you could do this too, because I didn't know this. Well, that wasn't today. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. But my wife, I love my wife to death. Everybody knows that, right? Sometimes maybe she doesn't, but I think everybody else does. Is that true? But she's usually the techno challenged of us, right? She'll admit, like, okay, he's my
right,
IT guy. Ira sets it up. And when I'm not around now, it's my son too, RJ, right? So she's not techno savvy. Okay. I was looking for a movie on Netflix because I think everybody knows by now that's just my default one because it's the one I'm familiar with. So I go to Netflix and I search. She goes, "You don't have to search for it on Netflix. You know what you do is you go to the home and you search it, and then it'll tell you which services it's on." And I was like, "That's brilliant."
what? Say that again. What?
Yeah. So when I turn my TV on, right?
Roku?
Yeah, Roku. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. So you search it there, and then it said, like, if it's on Disney Plus or if it's on Amazon or
And you could actually use the microphone and just say it in there. My
talk to it.
sister-in-law
Yeah.
taught me that. And
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. So then if it's on multiple ones, I guess you just pick which one. I mean, who cares, right?
Who
But
cares? Okay, so the 3 I'm gonna watch is um I think it's called Everything Everywhere all at the same time or something like that. It's a multiverse movie. And I know Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. The woman from I think she was the aunt in Shang-Chi movie, and but anyways, it looks like a really good movie. Like if it's talking about the multiverse in a different way, like for regular people that when we have these dreams or whatever, like there are other I just want to go see it. My
yeah,
wife and kids think I picked the worst movies, which they're right. I do, but I still want to go see it. Second one I want to go see is the one with Nicolas Cage playing himself. He's
never heard of that.
yeah, it's something about the immeasurable weight of a person or something like that. And he actually is playing himself and he goes to a millionaire's party and because the millionaire paid him $1 million to go there for him, and the millionaires are a fan of Nicolas Cage, and I
So
guess
it's
they become friends or whatever.
an appearance fee.
Yeah, and the third movie I want to see, which because I asked my wife, and it's probably going to be the third one we're going to see, is Last Seen Alive with Gerard Butler, and it looks really good. Like him and his wife, they were having words, got in a fight, and they stop at a gas station. He fills up the car, and she ends up missing. So I really want to see it. It
That
looks
doesn't
like
sound like a happy movie.
well, it's probably not, but
No.
still, I mean,
All right. If you
yeah,
guys are looking for if you're looking for a fun family type movie, don't watch that one. My
yeah.
dad
Don't watch any of the 3 that I just gave you.
my dad suggested a movie. We watched it and actually it was pretty good. It's called Togo. So it's based on a real life story. It's a story about a dog, but it isn't one of those where like the dogs talk, and it's a realistic movie based in Alaska from the early 1920s when there was a sickness and they needed to get a vaccine cure.
Like
They need
Balto?
it's called Togo. So
I
like
know,
the
but
word
is it like, I think Balto did the same thing too.
so Balto's in the story. But if you watch this, you'll learn that the story that most people know about Balto is actually not true. The paper
No
Yeah,
way.
the paper that was written, the article about it's about that same thing. Balto did participate in that, and he was the final dog in that leg. He did 31 miles. The dog Togo did over 200 miles.
Oh.
That actually what happened in that story, and they explained it in the movie. They looked for one guy who could do the whole thing, and then after they set him out, then they came up with a different plan. And so then they set up like this relay system.
Wow.
So the main dog and Sletter and all that stuff, it was Togo. So they tell that story.
So I'm gonna have to look up Togo.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
might be
and you'll find out why it wasn't Fox, because see, Togo was the lead dog out in the front. Balto is actually paired up. The lead dog position was split between him and Fox. And I only know any of this because of this movie.
because of the movie.
So if the movie took any liberalities and changed history, I only know
What
from
you
the,
saw.
from the perspective of this movie. But they do explain why Balto has a statue and that whole story, because there was just a reporter there at the very end. He wasn't there at the beginning when they were deciding how this was going to happen. The story because it took a little bit of time to unfurl. I guess some reporters from the mainland came up to Juneau, and they were there at the end of it, and it had a happy ending, right? Like that story could have been really, really bad, but they got the stuff there in time. So of course, it was a feel good story, but the picture taken and the only dog reference in that whole story was Balto. And you understand, I mean, you can understand how it happens.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, when you watch the whole story, you're like, I don't want to dismiss Balto, but Balto was one of 30 some odd dogs that did 30 miles each. This other dog
200.
over 200 miles. And it might have even been more. I might be understating that. I think it was like 267 miles or something. Like it was a lot. And when you see the conditions they did it in, you're like, how does anybody survive? I mean, I'm from the desert. How do you survive one of these Alaskan? It was a record-breaking storm for Alaska. Think about what that means.
Wow.
And it was back in the 20s before there was, people didn't have cell phones and radios and all that stuff with them. So,
well, that's what I'm going to be watching tonight.
Yeah.
Togo
is the name of that story if you want to watch it. I thought it was really, really good. My kids were sad kind of at the end of the movie. But I didn't think it's not what you're expecting. When you're watching it with like 20 minutes left, you think you know where it's going and you're brokenhearted. It has a little bit different ending than it wasn't the predictable ending I was expecting. And I actually really appreciated that. Because don't you hate it when you're watching a movie and you know how it's going to end before, you know what I mean? And you're like, ah. So I like when they give you something that is different. That's part of what makes a good movie to me.
Right. Yeah. Nope, I agree.
All right, brother. Well, thanks everybody for hanging in there. And Sabrina, hello.
Hi, Sabrina.
I actually meant to tag Sabrina in a post earlier today, and then I forgot to, and I apologize. But Sabrina, I'm going to start tagging you in some more of my posts because I really like Sabrina. Sabrina I've known for a couple of years now. So anyways, all right, y'all. We will see you next Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on Joe Stepke's channel.
Yep.
Joe, the finance guy on Facebook, I believe, too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well, we're out of here. See y'all later.
Goodbye. Thanks, everybody.